Hey everyone, this is Christina Giordano from Sold, SOUL''D, your go-to resource for soulful entrepreneurship. Now, my philosophy is this: people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to, SOUL''D. But in order to sell with soul, you need to be sold on you first. Now, if this is your first time here, I do these previews for upcoming episodes on my podcast. You can find my podcast on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts. But again, these are just quick previews of the topic for the week, what's in store for you content-wise, and what you can expect from the episode. You can also find more about the episode and me in general on my website, ChristinaGiordano.com, along with some free resources, including my blog, a free transmission, and a couple of other things on there as well. So go check that out again, ChristinaGiordano.com. So this week, I'm talking about leadership. The next wave of integrated leadership starts now. We're not competing, we are stabilizing. That is the title for this week's podcast episode, and we go there in it. I kind of summarize what I talked about last week regarding the collective shift that we're all experiencing right now, especially during this eclipse season. It is actually February 17th as I'm filming this, which is the new moon solar eclipse. Now, I don't normally incorporate a lot of astrology into my videos or even into any of my content, but I do find it helpful to include, I like to think of it as the weather of the times, in order to see trends in the industry. And also, I really believe that as above, so below. So it'll be a wild ride as we go through this portal of the eclipse season, but I do talk on there, especially the previous episode, why this is happening and why performance no longer works. That was essentially the title of the last episode. I talk about that and what replaces it. So this is really about regulated leadership. And regulated leadership is not necessarily just about being calm and clear-headed and focused. It's about integrity. It's about being fully integrated in who you are and how you move. It basically means that they're the same thing. And the issue that we're seeing now in the industry is that what we thought was a marketing problem, which would essentially be saturation in the marketplace, too many coaches, too many consultants, too much noise, basically, is what has been attributed to. The solution, we told, was essentially better marketing, so sharper hooks, stronger positioning, et cetera, et cetera. But the industry doesn't actually have a marketing problem, in my opinion. It has an integrity problem. And it's not that it's saturated with bad strategy, it's that it's saturated with leadership who hasn't fully integrated what they are currently teaching. So all of my content across all platforms and interfaces talks about this kind of collapse that's happening currently. Now, in the episode, I talk about how the real problem is the ego, not the noise. The performance-based framework that we have all been conditioned to follow is essentially ego-led. It is based on performance, ambition, forcing, convincing, persuading, putting out more and doing more and efforting and all the things. But what we're trying to do right now, because the field now supports it, is move into something that is essence-led, which is not necessarily about forcing outcomes, but it's about maintaining internal coherence and stability. And so aside from talking about the problem as the ego and the solution as your essence, in this specific episode, I talk about integrity in general. And normally we think about integrity as morality. In my world, it's not really about that. It's more about continuity. For me, I believe that integrity is essence expressed consistently. So again, this is when who you are internally matches how you move externally. So your heart, mind, body, soul, the whole thing is moving in the same direction, in coherence, in congruence. And congruence, when it comes to your business, is when your message matches your lived experience, your ambition matches your nervous system capacity, your authority matches your environment, and when strategy matches timing. That is when you are not only internally coherent because you're essence-led, but you're externally coherent. So the field can meet you where you are. Life can meet you in in truth. So what's happening right now on a collective level is what used to destabilize us, effort, force, etc., is all kind of collapsing, not in any dramatic way, but in a non-participatory way. We are no longer orienting ourselves towards that hustle culture. We're looking at something different. We're not following the noise. We're looking for what's true. And so this episode not only talks about how that happens and what that looks like once it does happen, but I share a little bit about the threshold that I'm personally crossing now. And if you're in this world of, I want to say, soulpreneurship, you'll feel it. You'll resonate with what I'm saying, and you'll understand that the shifts that I'm describing in this episode might be similar to the ones that you're experiencing as well, and they may validate that for you. So this episode, it's one of my favorites. It's all about regulated leadership, why it is the way forward, and why sold is actually ahead of the game when it comes to allowing and guiding and helping others step into that destiny that is already unfolding before us. So if this sounds like something you want to tune into, again, my podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, be well and take care.